Booker T. Booker! Booker T gets heated talking about Hulk Hogan almost ruining his WCW title win. Hogan ruined Dark Side of the Ring. Okay. What did Hogan do now? Hogan.
Me winning the WCW championship. And the thing is, I still think about it to this day as far as, the landscape of how my career could have been changed that one night because, yeah, creative control was pulled the night that I was winning the world championship. And my thing is, somebody having creative control can, mess things up or, really, really start changing the whole name of the game and the narrative of, someone's career and someone's future. Because say for instance, Hulk Hogan wins the world title, okay? Hulk Hogan wins the world title. Let's just rewind. Hulk Hogan wins the world championship that night. What did that do for Hulk Hogan's career? What did that do? He was a multi-millionaire at that point in time. He had did movies, he had did everything. He had been a world champ everywhere. What would that have done for Hulk Hogan's career? I mean, would it have saved WCW? Would the company have not gone under if Hulk Hogan would have won the World Heavyweight Championship?
He's won the belt in 2000, I think, right? If he's talking about that, me and our buddy said the same thing, and know he raised hell. It's like at that time, if he's talking about that, Hogan and Flair didn't need no damn belt. not in '99 and 2000. He ain't need no belt, cause they was already big dogs. Now it's Booker T and Goldberg and Page and all them. Hogan, he need no belt in 2000. I think that's what he's talking about. So I'm trying to remember.
Now, on the other hand, it was a moment for me that Hulk Hogan came in and was almost took away from me because now I knew I was winning the world championship at least 2 or 3 days before I was that night. Okay,
they called you and told you.
Yeah, now if somebody called me and told me. Now if I knew that, Bischoff knew it, Hogan knew it, everybody knew it. And Bischoff, why I'm so disappointed, Bischoff and Hulk Hogan was willing to take away my moment that night. And if I wouldn't have won that night, who knows if I ever would have won the World Heavyweight Championship? Who knows where my career would have went? I could have went by the wayside just like everybody else in WCW if I wouldn't have won the world, as well as I went on to have a hell of a run as the World Heavyweight Champion, besides all the antics and stuff that I had to do with the title. You know what I mean? Stupid angles. That's here nor there. But what would Hulk Hogan have gotten out of winning the World Heavyweight Championship on my night? Yeah, I'm disappointed in Eric Bischoff because he was an accomplice to the crime, as far as I'm concerned.
You're saying that Bischoff would have. He was going to go along with Hogan.
Whatever Hogan said, he was going to follow along. Yes, that's what I'm saying. And I had a lot of respect for Eric Bischoff for so many years. But after finding out some of this stuff, man, it totally lowers the bar as far as I'm concerned about it. Yeah, I'm the one who should be disappointed.
Now, we're coming up on a break, so I'll play.
You got 45 seconds.
Hold on now. Calm down. Calm down. All right? I feel you. I feel where you're coming from. And we'll play some of Eric's clip on the back. Now, let me ask you this. Because the context, what Eric's video was about what you said in context to the Starrcade night.
My thing is, Eric bundled me in with a lot of other people that said Booker's copping out just like everybody else in WCW that don't like this, don't bundle me in with everybody else. I know what I say, and I know when I say it. And the thing is, he should have known it was taken out of context. He should have known that. Okay,
we gotta go to a break.
You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
Hey, look, I want to ask you a couple of things.
I'm just keeping it real, man. That's all. I just keep it real all the time. And the thing is, I started feeling this way a long time ago about Eric Bischoff, like I said, because I heard him make these comments on one of the Dark Side of the Rings. And then the thing is, I don't even know if I would have ever did the Dark Side of the Ring episode if I wouldn't have saw that. It was about, like I said, this situation. And me knowing this many years later that my life could have been totally different because I know Hulk Hogan was the guy that was, the marquee name and whatnot. I understood all of that, but I really felt like it was my night, and I felt like, the right person won the championship that night. Whether Hogan felt that way or not, because I saw an interview after that where Hogan had said, he's still the real champion anyway. I remember seeing stuff like that. So it's not something that I just dismiss or I don't think about. Don't talk about. I don't talk about that kind of stuff for a reason. But when I see it and I talk about it and I call it out, I'm just responding more than anything. Just because for many, many years I felt so differently about Eric Bischoff for many, many years before I saw that he was willing to go along with the coup.
So, for people who aren't familiar, maybe they didn't see that episode of Dark Side of the Ring, you're referring to Bischoff saying that he was okay with putting the title on Hogan and not allowing you to win that night?
Exactly.
I know I'm paraphrasing.
I wouldn't have won it after that.
Yeah.
Title wouldn't have came my way after that. Company was going down. I don't think Hogan winning the championship would have resurrected the company's downward spiral. It would have did something for Hogan maybe, and where he felt about
I see what you mean now, because buddy, we talk about this all. It's who else? Solid Monster brought it up. Man don't need no belt, like the WrestleMania thing. He didn't need no belt. What was that? Hogan. Brett. Yeah, just lost Yokozuna. Here comes Hogan. I remember that perfectly. He didn't need no belt then. I remember that. And then when Warrior beat him for the belt, this man holding his head. I was like, damn. Even thinking about it now, you knew eventually you would get him back. And sure enough, the next year he was in WrestleMania again. So yeah, me and old boy have a laugh talking about this stuff because said some of these guys would sleep with their belt and because he about pissed himself laughing. And some of these folks are lay down with the belt, they lose that belt. It's about as bad as their girlfriend breaking up with them. That's how bad they feel. It's that belt.
Well, there again, because he still felt like he was the champion after I won the world title anyway. So yeah. There again, was it selfish? Yeah, I think
he didn't need no belt.
I knew before that night I was winning the world
like
championship.
Booker
And they're the one that
have some
created it.
spotlight.
Someone like Eric would know it. I think Hulk would know it. Vince Russo knew it. Vince Russo said they had a meeting. Who am I to believe? I don't know. I wasn't in the meeting, but I do know what happened in the ring that night. I do know that I was slated to win the world title that night. I do know that Hulk Hogan pulled his creative control card that night, and me being the one winning
Hogan don't need no damn belt
that night.
He didn't need it. No?
And then Hogan pulled his creative control card.
He didn't need
Because I
no
don't
belt.
think that's a selfish move and somebody thinking for themselves at that moment in time. And I just said, okay, fine.
Need no belt.
That. Look, how stupid does that make me look?
Oh, very.
All the hard work I put in for that damn company all those years. Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous. Ludicrous. It's unbelievable.
Well, and a couple of things that I wanted to make sure I mentioned in this segment was, and I guess
that's just the credulity.
Yeah, Book was she's really aggravated.
Do you have a thesaurus in front of you? Right now. Now I didn't. Now I told you, and I've said this on the show a long time. I do not watch any Dark Side of the Ring episodes. I've never seen one of them. Mm-hmm. I have seen the Death of WCW, but I've not seen any of the Dark Side of the Ring because I don't kind of like what they represent. But
neither have I. I mean, I don't.
Yes, a lot of guys don't fool with those
like I said,
at all.
Only reason I did this
they
one
don't
was
like
because it had something to do with The Rock and Ryan Gewirtz, who had something to do with it as well. So I trusted them to, put my words in context. It was taken out of context. That's the only reason I never did anything with Dark Side of the Ring. And just going on the record, I'll never do anything with Dark Side of the Ring ever again going forward.
Okay. But as far as the Bash at the Beach thing, let me ask you this, because I didn't see the clip that you're referring to.
Oh, I think it was Bash at the Beach 2000. I'm trying to remember.
Bischoff's words could have been taken out of context in the Bash at the Beach episode, or is it pretty clear what he was saying?
I think he said the same thing this time.
He said the same thing this time. Okay. As far as Bash at the Beach?
No, as far as Hogan had creative control, and if I felt like, just like everybody else in WCW and what's going on in the office, I felt like, I just felt like, situation still remained the same as far as the way things are. I mean, like I say, I don't think it was taken out of context. Maybe it was, but I never spoke about it until now. I didn't speak about it because it was on Dark Side of the Ring. You know what I mean? So I never thought about it. So I say, but now I'm speaking on this because, again, the veracity of a comment that was made on Dark Side of the Ring. And that was taken out of context, but my true feelings.
Yeah, on your situation.
On my situation. My true feelings, 100%.
I guess like a journalistic follow-up would be this. Would you be open to having a conversation with Eric, either privately or publicly, about what he said and your feelings on the matter?
Let's just say this. I wouldn't mind at all.
Okay.
But that's why I say I never really, like talk about old stuff. The only reason I did the Dark Side of the Ring thing this time because I heard comments made about Hogan and about him winning the title and there
he didn't need shoot.
They would have went that way opposed to going with me. But what was the question again?
I was just, would you be open to having a public?
I'll be willing to have an open dialogue with Bischoff, but that dialogue can go like way down a rabbit hole because I do feel a lot of ways about what happened with WCW. I really do, and the thing is, I'm not going to just sit here. Let's just say this: Eric Bischoff did a lot for me in WCW. He did. He was a guy that is one of the reasons why I excelled and got so far in WCW. He paid me appropriately, maybe even better when I was in WCW. But that's not going to make me sit back and not tell things the way it is. I always tell it the way it is. I appreciate what Vince Russo did for me because if it wasn't for Vince Russo being the guy in the room and willing to go out on a limb for me, I probably wouldn't be here talking to you and having this conversation. I appreciate Vince Russo for doing that, but I'm not going to come out here and say Vince Russo was the best writer in the world. He did everything great. Vince Russo had flaws just like everybody else. You know what I mean? He had some good ideas. He had some really bad.
Booker almost cursed. He don't like to curse. He almost let it slip that time.
That's the name of the game. How many times have you heard me, really bash, Vince Russo about anything? I always say, man, he has some good ideas, he has some bad ideas. His best idea was putting the title on me. I appreciate that, but I'm not gonna, say anything other than the way it was or the way it is when it comes down to, talking about, old stuff. Yeah.
So, but like I said before, Hogan didn't need no belt. We're talking about 2000. Yeah, Booker T, he said the right thing. He said that Hogan was 99, 2000. Hogan was already a made man. And then, because of the NWO, they about wore it out by then. But before then, NWO got hot. And he said Hogan got a second, what did he say? Got a second win at NWO. That worked. I think he got the belt 2 or 3 more times. But then in 2000, you don't need, you and Hogan, Hogan. You and Flair don't need no belt. That was enough of that now. You want to see something else. And now you should see why, whether it's his idea or not, people got tired of what's his name? Got tired of Cena, the same person with the belt all the time. He said it was getting old. Maybe the only person that wasn't sick of it was the children, probably. But yeah, he didn't need no belt, but because 2000, he was one of the big dogs. Hogan, Flair, Savage. They were already their money was made. Then you had the current roster with Book and Goldberg and Page and all them guys. Because Sting didn't even sweat the belt like that. So it's, that is something. Booker T started to get mad and almost let something slip up just then, because he don't like to curse that much. But that is something.